It's like you got one of those halos. You command attention. And it's about time that you demand respect. I see you no longer caring about being liked. That's good. That means you're on the right path. You on the right track right now, collective. Because you realize the more you try to get people to understand and see your side of things, your side of the story, you're enlightened now. People don't care about your side of the story. They only care about their own perception. They already have a story written out for you. And any attempt to rewrite that story, aka be understood, people are going to resent that. They're going to fight against that. They're going to automatically be defensive. Like, how dare you try to rewrite the story that I already done written for you? It's crazy. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you understand, you understand. Okay, collective? You command attention. Every eye is on you. Even eyes that you don't think is on you is on you. You ever feel somebody looking at you? And then you look at them and they turn their head real quick. They get that whiplash. I seen people turn their head so fucking quick. I said they must got whiplash. Cause ain't no way. Collective, you're out here breaking necks. People want to see what your next move is. What do you got going on? People all up in your business. The more you mind yours. Ain't it funny how that works? The more you mind your business, the more other people try to get up in your business because they want to make sure that the story that they wrote for you, they want to make sure that you're playing your part. And when you don't try to clear things up, when you don't try to tell your side of the story, you have no desire anymore, no inclination. Why bother? When people already have their preconceived notions, prejudices, biases, and they already got your story written out for you. They have described your character. They don't care about your morals, your character, your integrity, your honor. They don't like that you have those things because it goes against the narrative that they have already written for you. They want to make sure you're not saying anything. You have somebody in particular right now, collective. They don't want you getting up on the stage, okay? Online, in person. They don't want you captivating any audiences. They don't want you telling that story time. Somebody's really afraid of a story time. Because collective, you got some stories. You got some stories to tell. And they ain't no tall tales like the stories people be telling about you. Your stories are factional, non-fiction. And somebody's scared that everyone's going to see who they truly are inside, their real character. The more somebody tries to hide their character, the more bad things they write about your character. They don't want you telling your side of the story. See, the more quiet you are, the better for them. Because then they can say whatever they want about you and you're not refuting it. You're not disputing it because you have no need, because your hands are clean. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. All that being said, tell your story. Tell your side of the story as you see it. The things that happen to you. They don't want you to talk. They really want you to shut up right now. Whether you have a platform, whether you're confiding within somebody, you have a confidant, even if it's just one person, they don't want the truth getting out because they're afraid of the truth. So don't be afraid to tell your truth. Now, I know that you don't have nothing to prove. I know that you don't care about telling your side of the story because you know the more you try to tell your truth, the angrier people get because it goes against what they've been told. Same thing with religion. They've been brainwashed and force-fed a certain doctrine, a certain narrative, a certain dogma, what to think, how to feel, what to believe. They have been brainwashed by religion. They are under mind control. They don't care about the truth. Because even for just 1 second, if they thought for themselves, it would dismantle their very identity. Their very identity would crumble all around them. Their ship would capsize. The building that they're in, it would feel like it's being demolished with them in it. They would have no sense of self. Because in thinking for yourself, they don't like that. They don't like to think for themselves because they have wrapped up their identity in the thing that they have been told to believe in. And without that, they have no identity. They don't know who they are or what's going on. They would have an existential crisis. Identity crisis. So it's easier to just believe what you're told. Believe what you always knew to be true. What they told you was true. It made enough sense where you're like, okay, I'm gonna just go with that because it's a complicated subject in general, and I don't want to dig any deeper into that. I don't want to dissect. I don't want to become educated. I don't want to become knowledgeable. It's easier for them to hand you a book and say, here, this is what you should believe. All the characters in this book, all the stories that we're going to tell you in this book, it's totally not edited. It's totally not edited. No, we would never do that. When you start to see how ridiculous it is, you can't unsee it. The same thing goes for you, collective. People don't want to get to know you. They don't want that emotional labor. They're not intelligent enough to think for themselves. They are robots. They all think the same. They want to look the same, walk the same, talk the same, dress the same. So they're not going to like anybody that looks different, especially anybody who looks like or they feel like has any type of influence. They ain't going to like that. Because look at how you effortlessly capture people's attention. The only way this narcissist can capture people's attention is if they talking about you, telling them tall tales. They have to embellish every story that they tell because they are uninteresting. There is nothing remarkable about them. They don't like that you're remarkable because they are unremarkable. There's nothing memorable about them. They will leave this earth and nobody will remember who they are or what they said because they dedicated their entire life to discrediting you and making it seem like you're inadequate, like you don't have any credibility. Crazy how people become obsessed with you. And unremarkable people will never understand what it's like to have groups of people be obsessed with you. Unremarkable people will never know what it's like to be the topic of a conversation amongst people who you haven't talked to in years. Unremarkable people will never know what it's like to have people try to destroy your reputation because they don't understand, they don't understand, and they don't want to. It's easier to just take what somebody says at face value. They don't want to get to know you. They don't have the capability of understanding the depths of your mind and your soul. You see and feel things that unremarkable, ordinary people cannot feel or see. So then when you try to explain that you feel and see these things, they look at you like you're crazy. When they're the ones living on the lowest vibration. They can't feel and see what you feel and see. Ignorance is bliss. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. The more enlightened you become, the higher you vibrate, bro. The more you see, the more evil you see in this world. You see the demons inside of people. You see and feel ill intentions. When you're ignorant, when you're at a low vibration, you're not a target to begin with because you're not a threat. When you start to see things for what they really are and you have a platform, oh, you're a threat. And what do they do to threats? They neutralize it because they don't want people seeing your side of things. They don't want people listening to your perspective because that's going to unlock something in somebody else potentially where they start to see things that they've always had the capability of seeing, but they just never looked at it from a different perspective. They don't want people to start looking at things from a different perspective. Because next thing you know, you're not going to believe any of the lies that they tell us as a society. They're banking on people being ignorant, slow-witted, and unremarkable. And they want to normalize that. So anybody who sees things from a different perspective, you have a different vantage point where you're kind of like on the outside looking in right now, collective. You are a part of the elite. They don't like that. You're not in their club and you want to be elite. You want to see things for what they really are. You want to disregard the lies that they tell us. They lie to y'all so good that they don't even have to lie to you. You lie to yourself. They brainwash you so good with religion, how you're supposed to think, how you're supposed to feel, these fairy tales. Wasn't none of them people there. They don't know what happened back then. They don't want you having a connection with God because that would mean having a connection with yourself. And when you have a connection with yourself, you don't need to be indoctrinated. But they need you to be indoctrinated because they have to control the population. You get a bunch of people start free thinking for themselves, calling themselves God. They got to neutralize that threat. But people are starting to wake up. The collective is tired of the lies. The collective is tired of being ostracized, victimized, scapegoated. Why is it that the free thinkers, the people that reject religious doctrine and dogma, why are we the ones that are considered the oddball? When the really odd thing is being told to believe something and you just going along with it without even thinking for a second, this book might be edited. These people might be lying to us. But people don't want to think like that. They want to be lied to. They want a comforting lie. Because it's so much easier. It's so easy to just believe what they want you to believe. You just take that as a fact. And then everybody that doesn't believe it, everybody that's intelligent, you try to make it seem like we're the crazy ones. Collective, you're not falling for it anymore. You see through it. The narcissist and their red flags. And they're gonna be mad when you start to see who they truly are. They're gonna be mad when they can't trick you anymore. They're gonna be mad when they realize that you have boundaries now. They don't want you to have no boundaries. They don't want you thinking for yourself. They don't want you removing yourself from the system as much as you can. Because once they put a social security number on you, you're theirs. But you can break free as much as you possibly can. Break free from the monotony of the 9 to 5. I mean, once you become enlightened to a certain point, nobody's going to hire you anyway. They're going to make sure you can't hold down a job. They're going to take away your vehicles. They're going to make you struggle and wonder how you going to pay rent, how you going to pay mortgage, how you going to pay your bills. Yeah, how? When you become enlightened and you're a targeted individual, yeah, how you going to do anything? That's what they want. They want you to become dependent on them. They want you to go along with what they're telling you. I feel like it's too late to go back to sleep. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's like they don't even have to turn other people against you. If you don't know who I mean when I say they, then this ain't for you. If you had to ask, it ain't for you. If you're not targeted, thank God and move along. This ain't for you. This is going to go above your head. It's okay. These people are going to do everything that they can to work on your nerves. And the more you're concentrating on the things that you like doing, the things that bring you joy, the little things, the little joys of life, the more you concentrate on that, things that you're passionate about, things that you used to be passionate about, and you want to reignite that passion, because a lot of us have that. A lot of us were talked out of our dreams. Too risky, too outlandish. No, you shouldn't do that. You should do this. A lot of chosen ones, empaths, star seeds, and earth angels, we just learn differently. It was meant to be that way. Because once you've been indoctrinated and brainwashed by the church, by the education system and higher education, and by the workforce, 9 to 5, bro, they got you so good. And they'll reward you with financial security and stability, with accolades and prestige. You go to an Ivy League school, you get a master's, a PhD, you are able to obtain, buy your own home, couple cars, you get married, you do everything that you're supposed to do like a good little citizen, and they'll reward you with financial security. Everybody like, oh my God, so impressed by your piece of paper that you frame and put up on the wall. Everybody's so impressed. People are going to pat you on the back. They're going to automatically respect you. Ivy League school, even better. Now, nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, not everybody is built to sit down in a classroom and concentrate for that long on shit that doesn't matter. I mean, they teach you shit that does not matter to get you farther and farther and farther away from the things that do matter. And now you're so busy and tired and exhausted working just to survive. Like, are you working to live or are you living to work? I just feel like it shouldn't have to be that way. But they'll make it so hard for you to live any other way. But once you become enlightened and see that it's all bullshit, you can't go back to sleep. Continue focusing on you. Now, the more you continue to focus on you, the more other people are going to focus on you too. The more you focus on things that don't matter, the more you become like them. I recommend putting some shades on or something when you go out. Spirit's recommending that you do not be perceived right now. Why do you think I'm not showing my face? Bro, it's treacherous out there. The lengths that they'll go to steal your energy and drive you crazy with the noise campaigns, death by 1,000 cuts. They'll annoy you and harass you a little bit and a little bit and a little bit at a time, enough to give you plausible deniability, enough to give them plausible deniability, where if you try to speak out, they're going to say that you're paranoid. They're going to say that you're crazy, that you've lost it, because they're not targeted, because they're not remarkable. So they don't know, they don't get it. And anybody who calls you crazy or paranoid for speaking your truth, they're complicit. They don't even have to get them to work for them. They're already working for them without even knowing it. They're brainwashed without even knowing it, indoctrinated without even knowing it. It's too late for all that for you. Like you already seen past it. And the right people will gravitate towards you. But it's going to be a lot of the wrong people too that are going to be triggered, because there's a part of them that knows that you're right. Not because it's like, oh, I'm saying this, so believe me, but something that you say, something about the way that you're living, the way that you're moving, something about you triggers something deep within someone's subconscious where it's like they resonate with it and they've always known that to be true, but it's been suppressed. They've repressed it for so long and they've identified with a lie for so long that when you trigger the truth within somebody, they automatically get defensive. They get hostile. Because now you're fucking with their identity. They don't know any other identity but the one that has been built upon lies. They don't know how to think for themselves. They don't want to think for themselves because it's easier to believe a comforting lie than to accept an uncomfortable truth. And the uncomfortable truth is that we have been lied to about everything. The healers, the psychics, the seers, the spiritualists, the people who reject the traditional 9-to-5, they reject the traditional higher education system. They reject religious doctrine. They reject everything that they're lying to us about. Yeah, I already know. They're going to call us crazy. When the craziest thing is believing something just because they told you to. Like, you don't even think for a second, like, let me do my own research. Let me find my own knowledge. Let me tap into my intuition. Because every answer to everything that you want to know is already inside you. Like, it's already in your subconscious. Your higher self already knows everything. But this earthly plane that we're on is so dense energetically that we are being weighed down, like physically and metaphorically, like with gravity. Same thing with our subconscious and our higher mind. We're just being weighed down by the food that they give us to eat, by the stuff, the information that they tell us, the algorithm, whatever the algorithm's saying, whatever the news is saying, whatever the people around us is saying. Is the whole system is designed for us to just go along with it. Just believe what we tell you to believe and everything will be all right. And it will be for them because they're rewarded. You go to school like they say, you're going to be rewarded. You go and get the job that you hate but that you need and it's going to give you stability. I mean, it's a smart thing to do. You're going to be rewarded. But is it the right thing to do? I don't know, man. Let's ask the Moon Oracle. Because I see that you're doing the right thing. You're focused on you. And I want the collective to protect themselves, okay? As much as you possibly can. But let me tell you, don't let nobody fearmonger you or make you feel afraid. These lower vibrational people, these narcissists, and anybody who has a demonic entity attached to them, and most of them are religious people, them people that be calling everything demonic, y'all are demonic because I see it on you. You're hateful. You contradict yourself. You're judgmental. You're hypocrites, and we all see it. All the spiritual people, we see it. We see y'all. I want y'all to know that these people can't do nothing to you, because guess what? Guess what God told me? I asked Spirit. Spirit told me, if these people were going to do something to you, they would have already done it. What are they waiting for? They can't touch you because God said, touch not my anointed. As long as you're focused on you and what you're supposed to be doing, getting in touch with your spirituality, scrolling a little bit less, reading a little bit more, watching a little bit less, writing a little bit more. Little meditation, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of burning that sage, burn a candle, burn some incense, burn something. Because them lower vibrational demonic entities, they hate the smell of sage. They hate the smell of Palo Santo. They hate the sage. They hate that. They hate that incense. They don't like you ringing that singing bowl. Go ahead and get you some bells, get you some bowls. They don't want to hear you singing. They don't want to see you dancing. They don't want to hear you rapping, making music, making beats, doing what you love, doing what's fun, doing what's passionate, brings you passion, brings you joy. These people are joyless. They're living their life for some hypothetical, theoretical fantasy. They think when they get up to the other side and they get up to heaven, it's going to be roads made of gold and they're going to be living in a mansion. What mansion? There is no gold in heaven. They don't have a need for any of that. The higher heavenly realms is a processing center for souls. They're going to be like, all right, this is what happened in this life. This is what, you could have played this different. This is why you met this person. Yeah, you already met them in like 5 other past lives. All right, so what do you want to do? You want to go back to Earth? All right, bet. Somebody's about to be born. You can go ahead and go put your soul into that body. Try again. See if you could raise the collective consciousness. See if you could save one more soul. But ain't it crazy how they tell people believe what I believe what I believe. Live how I live. Do as I say. And in return, you're going to go to heaven. And if you don't, you're going to go to hell. We're already in hell. Earth is hell. But you see how they'll just lie to you. People just believe it. Bro, don't even believe what I believe. Don't even believe what I say. You don't have to believe any of this. What I want people to do is think for themselves. I want people to become spiritually enlightened and go after the answers within yourself. Because as above, so below. Anything that God, source, spirit knows, you know. And you could ask anything. But what I don't like is the church and religions, they encourage people to not ask within. I don't like that. Because why are you discouraging people from getting in touch with the God within? Why is the Bible okay, but tarot cards are demonic? I just laugh at this point when people say that. Because it just shows how easily brainwashed they are. And they'll never understand anything that I'm trying to say. So, I mean, listen, I did my job. You came across my channel for a reason. You either resonate with it or you don't. I don't care. I don't get paid for these videos. I'm not doing these videos for me. I'm doing these videos for the collective, even if it's one person out there who may need to hear this, who may relate, who may resonate. That's my job. That's what I feel like my job is. And it's something that I feel like I'm good at. And it's something that I genuinely enjoy. I find tarot cards so fascinating. Ever since I seen that angel, I find angels, archangels, spirit. I find that all so interesting. And guys, I was brought up in the church. Since birth, they tried to indoctrinate me. I went to a private Christian academy where they tried to indoctrinate me, bro. Yeah, that's why they start young. It's insidious the way that they do that. They do not want you thinking for themselves. They do not want you thinking for yourself. Listen, I recommend sunglasses. Sage and sunglasses. That's what I recommend right now. That's what I recommend. Because I feel like there's a divide. I feel like they're really going to come after the chosen ones, the empaths, the star seeds, the earth angels. They're going to try to do everything to get you down to a lower vibration. But they can't hurt you. I'm telling you right now, they cannot do anything to you. But that being said, keep your hands clean. Stay vigilant. I want you to stay aware. But can't nobody touch you. You doing what you need to be doing. You're not harming anybody. You're doing what brings you joy. You're doing what you're passionate about. You help others when you're in the position to help others. You're kind to people who don't necessarily deserve it. You're not going out of your way to be mean and bully people and make fake accounts and be mean and say mean comments online. You're focused on the things that make you happy. Focused on the positives. Helping the elderly, helping animals. A lot of you guys are good with kids. People need role models and caregivers and healers. It's crazy how the good people are punished, but it's supposed to be like that. Think about it like this. All the good people incarnated into hell, we're like the odd man out. We're like the person who sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, if you think about it, like an angelic being or a higher dimensional being, a good person in hell, it's like we don't belong. And that's why we're so quickly identified. So they're going to identify you, chosen one. They're going to identify you, empath. And they're going to ostracize you. And they're going to do anything that they can to discredit you and make it seem like you're inadequate. There's another word that I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it right now. They're going to make it seem like you're incompetent. That's what they're going to make it seem like. And they're going to, if they can't find anything on you, they're going to lie and say that you're incompetent. Whether this is in the workplace, whether this is in your building, your dwelling, your environment, school, work, within your family, within the neighborhood. They'll have somebody new move in, and then one of the neighbors who don't like you gets to that person first and tarnishes your reputation. Tells them all types of tall tales. And the fact that you keep to yourself, look at you minding your own business, tending to your garden. The fact that you keep to yourself, that's what they want. Because they're like, oh yeah, well, they seem standoffish anyway, so I'm just going to believe whatever this person told me to believe, because I'm not going to do my own research, because people in general don't do their own research because it's too much work and they do not have the emotional or intellectual capability or capacity to do so anyway. So they going to hate you. They always going to hate you. Let's ask the Moon Oracle what we should do about this. Because I think you should continue to shroud yourself in mystery, but tell your story if you have an online platform or if anybody's curious. I wouldn't hold back. Don't what I'm saying? Don't go out of your way to oh, well, this person said this about me, so I'm going to prove that. No, I don't mean that. I mean, don't be afraid to tell your story, because the narcissist, they're going to try to say that you're slandering them. You know how many narcissists hit me up you're talking about me in your videos. You're talking about me. Oh, well, if the shoe fits, wear that motherfucker. Make time for self-love, guys. Now I'm a Libra rising. I love Libras. I really love Libras. I get along with Libras. I've always said that Libras are what people think Leos are. Libras are so outgoing. Most Leos that I've met, they're outgoing in certain settings with certain people. Like they're very selective. But then once they start talking, you can't get them to shut up. But Libras, man, they'll talk to anybody. They're the life of the party. They're so open. I really love Libras. Well, I'm a Libra rising, and of course, a Leo would say that they love themselves. But guys, make time for self-love. I mean, this person is tending to their own garden, and with the shades on, I love that this person has shades on because they're kind of just focused on their own life, their own journey, which is what you should be doing. And I really want to say, don't be afraid to tell your story. Don't be afraid to tell your story, because the last thing they want is for you to get online with a platform. Because here's the thing about the narcissist. The narcissist has their little circle of influence. They have their little family members, their little friends, their little group of coworkers. You know, they might be an employer and all their employees just eat up everything that they say. They might be a minister and the congregation eats up everything that they say, right? But when you have a platform and you got thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people listening to you, liking you, agreeing with you, telling their own stories of the narcissist, they don't like that because they can't compete. And a lot of these narcissists, as charismatic and supposedly confident as they are in their little groups, a lot of these people, you never see them online. They don't have much of an online presence. You point a camera at them, they freeze up. Oh, but what happened to all that confidence? What happened to the charisma? Because they're lying through their teeth. And they know only certain people who they've been working on for a long time will believe their bullshit. And most of these people are like, it's all codependent. They're benefiting some way, shape, or form from being close to the narcissist. And the narcissist is benefiting from being close to these people. They like having a little audience, but only a curated audience, because they don't tell the truth. And a lot of these narcissists, they're afraid if they get online, people are going to see right through them. And they're afraid of being called out. Which is why empaths, starseeds, chosen ones, earth angels, I implore you, I encourage you to get up on that platform, because there's somebody somewhere out there who needs to hear your story. Just even if just so they don't feel so alone. You know how good it felt to stumble upon the spirituality side of social media, where people were addressing the collective and addressing the empaths and the chosen ones. I didn't even know what a chosen one was. The earth angels, the star seeds. I had no idea what any of this shit was like 4 years ago. I've been doing this for 4 years. And I was like, what? Other people are going through this too? And it made me feel not so alone. Because what they want is they want you to, they isolate you on purpose. Like everything that happens at your job, everything that has happened with your family, at school, in the neighborhood, anywhere that you go, it was done purposely to isolate you. Because when you are isolated, they take away your power and they can control you that way. Cults do this. Cults are well known for doing this. Guess what religion is? It's a fucking cult. I mean, it's not funny, but it's people are so brainwashed by it. And it's like, oh my God. I mean, I could really go into it, but you know, don't get me started. Don't let my blood pressure rise, man, because but people are so willing. They're so willing to fall for it, because it means that they can blame, shame, and point the finger at other people. Like they're all just narcissists. And once you see it, I'm telling you, once you become enlightened and that third eye is open, yeah, once the third eye is open, you can't close it. You cannot close it again. Okay. But the food that they give us, the information on social media and on TV, the frequencies that they're putting out, all the fun things, okay? The libations, the extracurriculars, is all meant to lower your vibration in excess. And it's hard to do everything in moderation, because we're only human and we're on the earthly plane. It's like anything bad or evil or underhanded that you do, it's like you're rewarded for it on this earth, because it's kind of like how earth is designed. So chosen one, starseed, empath, you guys with good hearts, my collective, I want you to know that, it's not that you're doing the wrong thing. It's that you're doing the right thing. But this earth does not reward you for doing the right thing. Now, does that mean don't do the right thing? No, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I think you should do the right thing. I think you should continue to do the right thing, but protect yourself. Don't let these people harvest your energy. Okay, try not to pay attention to the negativity, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to look paranoid, they want you to look crazy, and they want you to look mentally ill, so they can throw you in like a mental hospital or a jail, and then nobody ever sees you again. Okay, I don't want that. I don't want that for my collective, and that's happened to my collective. I've spoken to people who that's happened to, and they were able to get out. So I don't want you to think like somebody's gonna come and get you. No, I feel like whoever I'm addressing, you're protected. So continue to protect yourself. Continue to keep up with your spiritual hygiene, okay? You can look all this stuff up. Just look it up on YouTube, look it up on TikTok, or if you want to pay the 99 cents, I explain everything that I know about spiritual hygiene, how to protect yourself, cut the cord, okay? It doesn't matter to me or not. I'm not supposed to make money off of any of this, because if I was making money off of this, they would have took me out, man. They would have took me out, because then I would have been a threat. So I think it's good that I'm not making money off of this. I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to, because then they would have a reason. And then they come and get me, guys. Okay, I don't want them to come and get me. But seriously, guys, all jokes aside, they're not going to come get you. You're going to be focused on what matters to you. And you're going to keep speaking your truth, okay? Now, I understand not everybody's meant for social media. Right now, I don't even want to be perceived. I don't think it's really a good idea for me to be perceived at this very moment. There will come a time where I'll be comfortable being perceived again. But being perceived by so many people and like really having nothing to show for it, it kind of gets to a point where I just want to get the message out. Like whether you see me or not, sometimes I think, letting myself be seen, it's a distraction. Like some people like lose the plot and like are distracted and aren't like really listening to what I'm saying because they're so distracted by the way that I look. I mean, but that's me. I can't pay attention to that. I can't pay attention to the people that I'm not supposed to be paying attention to. And I have to know that being on social media, I'm finna attract every type of person, okay? From every dark corner of this dimension. So that's a me thing, okay? So I guess I'm just venting at this point in the reading, but let's circle back around to the collective. Guys, make time for self-love, okay? Whatever that means for you. For me, I love working out. Get on the treadmill, lift weights. If possible, get yourself like a little bench or like a little workout area, maybe a little yoga, stretching. I know Pilates is a fun thing that people like. I've never done it, but it doesn't matter. Any type of physical fitness, because the last thing that these people want is for you to be active and healthy and physically fit. They want you slow, tired, and sick, okay? That's why the way that the work day is structured like that to drain every ounce of your energy so that then when you get home, you just want to eat, drink, and go to sleep and sit down. That's what they want after you've been sitting down all day. They don't want you to have any time to yourself. They don't want you thinking for yourself. That's why they make social media so addictive. And I know the irony of me telling you this on social media, but it's not the point. Okay, guys. Make time for self-love. Okay, say if you're not into physical fitness. Okay, what were you into when you were younger? Start to think about that. Did you like to draw, rap, dance, sing, paint, website design? Did you always dream of owning a business? Maybe you're really good with electronics, with computers. Okay, I know I'm not, but a lot of people are, and that's a talent. That's a gift. Maybe you're really into animals. Video games are fun. You know, anything where you're able to kind of take time for yourself. Manicures, pedicures, spas, massages, hot tub, sauna, you know, any type of self-love, skincare routine, lighting some candles, having some time to yourself. They don't want you having no time to yourself to kind of think and get in touch with your subconscious and your higher self. Because next thing you know, you're thinking a little bit too much, thinking for yourself. They don't like that. So anything they don't like, that's what you should be doing, okay? And don't think that it's gonna make you a target and then you're gonna be harassed, because that's gonna happen. I wish I had like a clear, concrete answer of what can we do. There's nothing, what they're telling me right now, guys, is there's nothing you could do to make yourself not a target unless you go to the lower vibration with them, because then you're no longer a threat. So what's the collective supposed to do? How are they supposed to, handle, or cope with the stress of, being a target? Is there any final thought that I could tell them? Because I know, protect yourself, focus on you. Don't be afraid to tell your story, okay? Because that's what they don't want. Make time for self-love. Okay, make time for self-love. Is there anything else? Let's ask the Moon Oracle, because the Moon Oracle knows all. Practice gratitude. Okay. I could work with that. Guys, when they say practice gratitude, they don't mean get on your hands and knees and, don't do all that. Don't be getting on your hands and knees. You don't have to do all that. Say if you live in an apartment, but you would like to live in a nicer place, what you do is you take care of your apartment to the best of your ability. Okay, make sure everything's clean and clutter-free. Anything that you do not absolutely need, anything that is not a necessity, I suggest you kick it to the curb. Take it out to the curb on the next trash day and get rid of it. Because here's the thing. They want to make it seem like you are incompetent. But usually it's the people with the most dirty house that be pointing at you. Okay, so don't give them a reason. All right, and you're gonna feel better being in a nice, clean, and clutter-free environment. Okay, try to make sure the laundry's folded. Try to make sure you don't go to bed with dishes in the sink. Try to make sure everything's swept, mopped, vacuumed. Okay, because it be these narcissists and these G-stalkers that be pointing the finger at you, trying to get you evicted, trying to get you fired, trying to get you in trouble, trying to tarnish your reputation. But you don't never hear that vacuum going up in a crib. You don't never hear that vacuum running. So I'm just saying, guys, okay? Make sure your hands are clean, okay? Literally and metaphorically. I wash my hands so many times, I dry my hands out, and I know I do. But wash your hands. Make sure you yourself are as clean as you possibly can be. Okay. Make sure you're manicured and maintained as much as you possibly can, moisturized and hydrated, because what they really want is they want you to be dehydrated and dry. All right, guys. So try to moisturize and hydrate yourself, get your electrolytes, make sure your crib is clean, make sure your fingers are, I don't know, man, put some lotion on or something. But guys, honestly, they be pointing the finger, and they ain't got no business pointing the finger at you. Because when somebody's doing something to you, they're gonna point the finger at you and say that you're doing it to them. So you don't want to give anybody any reason to think that you're incompetent or mentally unstable. So I would just say definitely stay on your P's and Q's. I would say read a little bit more, scroll a little bit less if you can. It's hard, man. It's hard. I be having to turn my phone off. Make sure you are super clean. Your hands are super clean, like really. Make sure you're doing everything to the best of your ability. And honestly, these people ain't got nothing on you, and they know they ain't got nothing on you. So Spirit wants you to practice gratitude in any way that you possibly can. So yeah, even if it's something that you want more of or want better of, okay? Like say if you got a broken down car, and it's like, okay, Cheetah, you supposed to show gratitude for the broken down car that you don't want. Yeah, I mean, at least keep the car clean, keep it insured. That's what I mean. Like, make sure your like insurance and stuff is on point. Like, make sure they don't got nothing on you. Because if they can get something on you, they're gonna go full force and like embellish it, and they're gonna blow it all out of proportion. Okay, you see what I'm saying, guys? Make sure your hands is clean. And then visualize the type of car that you want, and then God is going to give you some type of like epiphany or vision of what it is that you should be doing so you can make the money to have the car that you want. Okay. Now, the way that you make the money is probably going to be very unconventional, because you're going to be bullied out of the workplace. You're going to be bullied out of a traditional workplace. Like you just are, or you're going to be so unhappy, you're going to quit. But I really do believe God, Spirit, the universe, they will provide the funds, provided you are doing what you're supposed to be doing spiritually, mentally, and physically. Okay. Try to eat as clean as possible. Try to keep your physical fitness up. I know fitness and nutrition is like a full-time job. It really is. It's a full-time job. It takes a lot of your energy. It takes most of your energy and your time to get your dream body. So you don't have to look perfect or have a six-pack, because that's not sustainable anyway for most people. But I would say try to eat as clean as possible. Try to make your environment as clean and clutter-free as possible. Even if you look around and look like you don't got a lot of stuff, you don't got a lot of furniture, I think that's preferable to having a bunch of stuff piled up and a bunch of clutter and like stuff you don't even use, and like dust is collecting and stuff. You don't want it to get to that point if possible. Yeah, make sure everything's insured, and try to make your own money, because the last thing you want is to be dependent upon other people. So, I mean, I don't have all the answers, because if I had all the answers, then, my life would be a lot better than what it is now. So I can only tell you what I know and what the spirits are telling me to tell you, anybody who may need to hear it. But practicing gratitude, it feels good. It just feels good. It feels good to practice gratitude. Take care of the things that you have while visualizing the things that you want. And eventually that'll get you to the vibration where you're able to have the things that you want and you're living your dream life. Now, does that mean take no action? No, it does not mean participate in inaction. Okay. I don't think you could just sit there and then all the blessings come, charging towards you, and, like an avalanche, and you're just sitting there. No, I don't think so. I think you sit there and you meditate, and you keep yourself clean, you keep your hands clean, and you keep your environment clean, and you keep your mind clean as you possibly can. Try to limit TV, limit social media, limit talking to people who are limited intellectually, which is most people. So it's going to be a lonely road. It's going to be isolated. But I feel like you're used to this. You ain't new to this. And I think eventually like-minded people will gravitate towards you if you're open to that kind of thing. And I believe your dream life and everything in your dream life will gravitate towards you as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, which is all you can really do. You can't control the narrative. You can't control what these people think, what they say, what they do, how they feel, what they say, what they don't say, what they do, what they don't do. You can't control none of that. So you can't focus on that. Only thing you can focus on is you carrying around your black tourmaline, having a dream catcher, sage, incense, Palo Santo, the singing bowl, the bells. I like to do that just to disrupt the demonic energy that might even be thinking about coming in here. They don't like that. They don't like you taking care of yourself. They don't like your house being clean, because then they're going to come up in your clean house and be like, ugh, they got a nice clean house. I don't have anything to talk about. I don't have anything to say. Well, what about them? Oh, wait, they're taking care of their physical fitness. They're eating clean. Damn, I can't come at that either. Well, they must be doing something conniving and underhanded. See, everything that they do, they're going to try to make it seem like you do that. So just make sure you're practicing gratitude. You know, gratitude for being able-bodied, gratitude for having a roof over your head, because a lot of people don't, or a lot of people are one paycheck away from not having a roof over their head. Okay, it's treacherous out there right now, even for people who are gainfully employed. I mean, it's scary out there right now. But I genuinely believe if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, make a little routine for yourself. If you can, try to get a scheduler. I love the Witch's Date book. This is the 2006 version. I really love that. And I have a calendar too. If you are struggling, don't be afraid to put an Amazon wish list out there. I know a lot of people are prideful and, you know, they're like, oh no, that's a little bit too much like begging. God blesses you through people. Okay, the hand of God is not going to come down and hand you $1 million, but God will work through people to bless you if you have not been blessed in this life. And a lot of you signed up to not be blessed in this life. You're like, make it as difficult as possible so I can clear as much karma as possible and show people that you can have all the cards stacked against you and you could still thrive in this world, in this hellish landscape. You could still be a good person and thrive. It's going to take you longer. It's going to be more difficult. You're going to face more challenges. You're going to encounter more obstacles. You're going to be attacked. They're going to put you under surveillance, and they're going to try to eliminate you by making you crazy, okay? So just do everything that you possibly can to keep yourself nice and level-headed. That's why I really like to recommend breath work and meditation, but it's hard, man. Is hard with the attention spans the way it is. And I say this as somebody with a very limited attention span myself. It's hard to sit there and just think of nothing and be in the moment and be present and just breathe. But a lot of us unconsciously hold our breath because this world just gives us so much anxiety because we're not used to this heavy, dense energy with all these like demonic entities crawling around, because they don't have that on the higher vibrations. That's why they thrive in this world. That's why like low vibrational people, angry, mean, malicious, horrible people who are just nasty to people for no reason, walking around angry. It's so easy for those types of entities to take control of these people because they voluntarily hand over their soul to these lower dimensional entities so that they can do their bidding for them. A lot of these people are just vessels walking around voluntarily letting whatever entity or energy come into them. And then they'll turn around and say tarot's demonic. I fucking can't. Guys, you just go ahead and practice that gratitude, okay? there's something in your life that you once prayed for, okay? Even if everything is falling apart, like, I'm often grateful for my cats. So like every day I'll be like, I'm so grateful. I love my cats so much. They meow and look around wildly when there's any type of weird lower vibration energy. Because the thing about earth angels and chosen ones, it's like we're always surrounded. It's like we can't get away from the low vibrational people. And the low vibrational people, they're supposed to not like us. Now, it's difficult to come to terms with that, but it makes sense when you think about it. Because we're showing that you can be high vibrational and you can be a good person that does no harm to other people. And you can mind your business and just focus on you and still survive in this world and hopefully eventually thrive. You're showing that there's another way of living, and they don't like that because they have identified with one way of living in anger and depression and misery. So when you show that you're not like that, they don't like that. But when you think about it, like, yeah, naturally, it makes sense that's the case. So we signed up for that. So we can't control them, though. The only thing we can control is us. So guys, we're going to go through the journey together, okay? I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat it. My life, I'm going through it right now. It's all types of lower vibrational entities and energies that are kind of afraid that I'm going to start to gain more influence and I'm going to start to gain credibility making these videos, and I'm going to start to reach people, and people aren't going to want to be as low vibrational and give in to that kind of thinking. And they don't like that because this world isn't meant for people like that. This world is meant for misery and low vibrational activities and ways of thinking, because that's what this world was created for. But there are still good souls on this earth. And that's what I make these videos for. The good souls on this earth who can relate to what I'm saying and who resonate with what I'm saying. And it's up to me to not read comments, not read DMs, not click on the notifications so I can stay focused on my audience. So that's something that I'm going to work on. And you guys help me with that. And you guys keep being there for me, and I'm going to keep being there for you. I'm going to keep being there for you regardless. Okay, guys? Because I feel like this is what I've been called to do. And if they would have took me out, they would have taken me out already. And I feel the same way about the collective. If they really had the power to do something to you, they would have done it by now. But something somewhere out there is protecting you. You are protected, okay? So I don't want my collective to worry. And whatever advice that they give me, the spirits and the tarot cards, because it's not, what I want people to understand is it's not the actual cards that are giving me the information. It's God, spirit, and the universe that are giving me the information. The cards just help out with the interpretation a little bit. It just helps out with the interpretation. It helps me be a little bit more detailed. Because it's not like they speak to me in like a voice where like you could hear my voice right now. It's not like I hear a voice like that. It's just that they give me a feeling. It's just called intuition. People who are not tapped in with their intuition, they won't know what I'm talking about. And that's okay. It's not for you. And that doesn't stop them from making their comments. But again, you guys help keep me accountable. Okay? Of course, I'm not going to be able to read if you're keeping me accountable, because from now on, guys, I swear to God, I'm not looking at who looked at my story. It's all distraction, and it doesn't make my life any better to see who commented, who watched my story, who DM'd me, and it doesn't make my life any better. It's just a distraction, and it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is me getting out this message. And however it comes out is however it's going to come out. If I go off on a tangent, if people only watch the first 3 seconds, if it only reaches one person, it don't matter. I'm starting to realize that it don't matter. The only thing that matters is if I get this message out, and they're still letting me get these messages out. So as long as they still give me these messages, and as long as I have air to breathe, I'm going to continue to use my tarot cards. That's right, tarot cards. Yeah, look how demonic these pieces of cardboard are. Look, so demonic, guys. Guys, I'm so demonic. I'm so demonic for utilizing these little pieces of cardboard. That people are scared of pieces of cardboard is fucking hilarious. You guys are so brainwashed. It's not even funny. Actually, it is kind of funny. Guys, my collective, you guys know I'm being facetious and I like to make fun of the religious people a little bit. Because they're just such an easy target. But seriously, guys, practice gratitude. Sagittarius. Oh, what do we know about Sagittarius? I mean, Sagittarius, they're very passionate about what they believe in. That's what I know about Sagittarius. I'm not super close with any Sagittarius, or like, nor have I ever been. I'm not super close with anybody right now. But when I used to care about friends and friend groups and dating and having interactions with others, the Sagittariuses that I have known, they are very confident, very charismatic, and they're very passionate about the things that they believe in. Okay, so I would continue to focus on the things that you're passionate about, that you believe in, whether or not you have a platform online. Anybody that is spiritual and you do have a talent, or you do have a lot to say, but you're hesitant about making content or getting online, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Okay. It is treacherous out here, online, in person. You just gotta do what feels right for you, honestly. So continue to tap into your intuition so you can know beyond a shadow of a doubt what feels right for you. Okay, not what somebody else told you to do, not what sounds good, not what looks good, but what feels good for you. If you're tapped in with your intuition, you're going to know what feels good for you. You're going to know what your thoughts are and what somebody else's thoughts are, what you believe and what they want you to believe. Okay, there's a separation. There's a separation that's going on right now between the people who are tapped in with their intuition and the sheep who kind of just want to go with the program. They're easily programmable. Okay, guys. So I feel like my collective, you on your own program. And if other people don't want to get with your program, then that's their prerogative. And you don't care because you're on your own journey. All right. So just take care of the things that you have now, even if it's broken down and you don't have the hardwood wood floors, and you don't have the stainless steel appliances, and you don't have a reliable car that runs, or maybe you don't have good health insurance or access to quality food that you want, or the state-of-the-art gym facilities that you want, the things that you know that you deserve, the ability to travel, the ability to do what you want when you want. I believe that that's going to come very soon for the collective, okay? Because you out here doing what needs to be done. And just because this lower vibration called Earth doesn't appreciate people like you, does not mean that you are not being celebrated and exalted in a higher heavenly realm. And that's the only realm that matters, because Earth is temporary, but your soul lives on forever. And I believe that the higher dimensional beings, whether this be the ETs, the advanced races, the gods, goddesses, deities, prophets, archangels, and everybody else on the higher heavenly plane, I believe that they are celebrating your name, and you are the talk of the town up there in a good way, okay? Because you're out here fulfilling your mission and doing what it is that you need to be doing. So I'm going to continue to do what I feel like I need to be doing. And hopefully maybe that inspires the collective, because I'm going to keep showing up, man. I'm going to keep showing up. Okay, guys, so keep showing up for yourself. Keep showing gratitude, even if it's like something small, something small, the ability to walk, the ability to see, because some people don't got that. Your pets, your kids, maybe you're close with your family. Like, I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody, but only you could know like what it is that you're truly grateful for, but you could also want more. Okay. So be grateful and then be present and then visualize what you want. Okay. That's how I understand how it works. If I receive more information about gratitude, you guys will be the first ones to know. Okay. But I do recommend reading The Secret and The Law of Attraction. Those are really, really good books, and I need to brush up on those books myself. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple chapters from each one and get back to you guys. All right, guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. It's crazy. I don't want to be perceived, and I only show my hands in the past few videos, and then somebody found a way to objectify my hands. You just can't win, can you? So it's up to me to kind of just it's up to me to kind of just ignore that. So guys, if I don't see your comments, if I don't see your DMs, probably the best way to get my attention now, if you have something to say, is through the Amazon wishlist gifts. Okay, I'm going through it right now, and I am taking any and everything right now. I have no pride, no ego whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty much destitute and bankrupt right now. Okay, and that is what it is. I know there's gonna be some people that are like glad to hear that, like, haha, her little tarot business didn't work out. Haha, her pet care business didn't work out, and she's out here like begging for gifts. If you want to look at it like that, that's cool. I can't control how you look at it like that, but I am shooting my shot with the universe and just letting you know that my Amazon wishlist is available, and there's stuff on there that I need right now. If anybody has the ability to help your girl out, okay, guys? For you guys who don't know, it's your girl Cheetah Claus coming at you live from the 215 for those spot on readings. You already know them readings spot on. I do record all my videos live, one take. No script. So, I record it on live, full transparency, and I like upload it to Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and what have you. Okay, guys. So I'm super grateful for these platforms, and super grateful that it puts me in touch with people who God uses to bless me and bless my life, so I can continue to do this. Because I wouldn't have made it this far if I didn't have people who were looking out for me, problem solvers, people who have solutions